Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Battle for Azeroth has been with us now for 3 weeks, and there's one thing I think that we can pretty much all agree on, and in my humble opinion, I personally believe that these are the greatest zones that the World of Warcraft has ever seen. The art department have utterly outdone themselves. They are gorgeous, they are beautiful, I want to spend my time in them. So content department, why are you trying to screw things up for us? The content in the outside world simply does not reflect the quality that the art department have done when they've created these. So in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what the problems are and give Blizzard a bit of this. And if they're lucky, also a bit of this. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Exhibit A, the treasure chest. Now you can tell it's a treasure chest because it is sparkling and glowing and looking very inviting indeed, and that big old lock front and center is a bit of a giveaway. So what do you expect to find? Well, it's a treasure chest. You expect gold and loot and bounty and plunder and exciting things to be inside, because this is an exciting moment in an MMORPG when you come across a treasure chest. So when I click it and open it up, I find 99.9% of the time that it's full of war resources and a grey item that sells for cackle gold. Now, Blizzard, I think we've got our wires crossed here. You see, this is a treasure chest. There's a big old hint in the first word, treasure chest. It's not a pile of garbage. If it's a pile of garbage, it'd look something like this, and I'd be rummaging around for a half-eaten banana or maybe a couple of stale grapes. No, I kind of want a little bit of treasure inside of it, so let's have another crack at the whip, shall we? So let me paint you a picture. You decide to do a little bit of exploring. You go off the beaten track and discover a concealed pathway. You follow it to the top of a hill round a corner and sparkles! There's got to be something special here. What if I click onto it? Is it treasure? Maybe it's treasure. Oh my god! It's treasure. Gift of the broken-hearted. A special treasure chest. All the disappointment is gonna fade away now, because inside this off-the-beaten-track treasure chest, there's gonna be something real. Oh, no. More grey items and more war resources. 2 silver. Oh, 1 gold. Oh my, Blizzard. How you're really spoiling us. Let me paint you a picture of what treasure chests in the World of Warcraft are really like. Oh look, it's a big hot pile of garbage. I've rummaged and have found myself an old sailor's almanac that sells for just over 4 gold. Please add to my disappointment, Blizzard. Thank you, that's perfect. Sadly, Blizz, the story's the same when it comes to rare mobs as well. First of all, just like treasure chests, they display on the minimap from a mile away. So it eliminates all elements of exploration because you can see exactly where they are. It's not enticing you to go out into the world and try and find stuff. On top of that, they're pretty weak and feeble and can be destroyed in next to no time, less than 30 seconds, virtually every single one of them, especially with how strong we've already got after 3 weeks. And then there is the reward element. 1 gold, 37 silver, 45 artifact power. Yeah, that'll go a long way to the 29,600 odd that I need. And a couple of pieces of cloth. Pretty useless. Now, you probably already know this, Blizzard, but let me show you how the Elder Scrolls Online deals with treasure chests in their game. You see, they don't display on any mini-map. They are something that you organically find in the game, which makes it a little bit more exciting. Number 2, they're locked and have different varying degrees of difficulty on the lock. This one is a simple one. It should be relatively easy to get into. You then have a little mini game with your lockpicks to push the tumblers in before the time runs out. And if you are successful, the treasure chest will open and you'll get what's inside. This basic treasure chest, 73 gold. It has a weapon, which is actually more powerful than the one that I currently have equipped. Yes, you can have a progressionary system that doesn't involve constantly throwing purples at people. You can still utilize greens and blues, you know, as time goes on. And then I've got a crafting item on top of that. So same game, but let's have another example now. I've been running around exploring because they don't show up on the minimap, and I found another treasure chest, but this one is an advanced level one. So this is a sexier treasure chest. Now, the mini game still applies, but the time is reduced, and also the tumblers can be in all manner of places now. A little bit more difficult to do. But if I unlock it, look at the rewards now. You can see a definite leap from a simple to an advanced. So once again, 73 gold, so a decent amount of gold there. A soul gem, which if I fill it with a soul, essentially acts like a soul stone in the World of Warcraft. Piece of bronze, which is used in crafting. And then 2 blue items. And this one here already is an upgrade for me. Now, that's because I don't play Elder Scrolls Online huge amounts. But if I was jumping back on, there's a nice little upgrade. And then this piece here, massive upgrade. Massive upgrade from me. From item level 60 to item level 110. So that's going to be a huge boost indeed. So you can physically see the progression between a simple treasure chest to an advanced treasure chest, and it made it a much more rewarding experience. And finally, it leads us to this. The big bulk of the external world content, world quests. Or as I like to call them, the only way to get reputation in the game outside of the command table. Nice one, Blizz. Now, just look at the rewards that you get. They're pretty damn sparse. A bit of gold, war resources, a piece of gear that you probably don't even need anymore. Very little is actually got from doing this. Fingers crossed, if you're lucky, you might get a quest to get rep, because that is essentially what you're doing it for. And so at the moment, the world feels vibrant and busy because people are doing the only way to get reputation in the game. They're doing the world quests. But today in America, the Raid comes out, Mythic Plus comes out, Warfronts come out. I think they're all coming out together. And tomorrow for us in Europe. And so people are gonna start gravitating towards those forms of content. And the outside world, because it's offering virtually nothing in terms of longevity for content and rewards, is gonna start to die, and the world is gonna just get empty before we know it. And this world is too good to be empty. People are just going to be queuing for raids. They're going to be queuing for Mythic Pluses. They're going to be queuing for Warfronts. Come on, Blizz. Please, come on. This world is beautiful. We need to be outside in it. Doing things. Having fun. So we've talked about a lot of problems. Let's try and find some solutions to them. So let's start off with rare mobs. What would I personally do? Well, I'm looking at this from the position of Blizzard's current architecture. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. I'm trying to put myself in the position of what I can see in-game and how I would tweak just the in-game to try and make it, hopefully, a little bit more fun for everybody, or at least rewarding. So I would take rares and simply make them rare. What a novel concept, hey? No, that's what they used to be. Instead of having all of these rares in the zones, which are a dime a dozen and drop nothing, cut it right down. Put 5 rares in a zone. and then put them on random spawns in random areas. And maybe even 2 could pop at the same time in different places. And then behind them, actually put something of worth. The potential to get a decent mount. Now, I'm talking kind of time lost Proto Drake-esque mount behind them. Put something a little bit more fun as well. Put some pets behind them. Put some toys behind them. Put some proper things behind them. Gear is useless. There is literally no point in putting gear on a rare because of the way that Blizzard progress gear so quickly in the game. It would be outdated and it would be useless. Put patterns behind them. Take them out of the silly rep vendors and stick them in places like this. Try and make it feel a little bit more exciting. I would have the same attitude when it came to treasure chests. First of all, I wouldn't show them on the minimap. Same with rare mobs as well. Get them off the minimap. Allow the player to explore and try to discover. Once more, put them into random locations around the map as well. And give a decent number, maybe 2 or 3 at a time that could spawn. Allow people to find them. If somebody finds a treasure chest, they can loot it, and it goes on a 15-minute cooldown, maybe even 30-minute cooldown before it spawns somewhere else. But when I say open it, it gets a little bit more complicated as well. Lock them up. Lock the treasure chests up, and they can only be opened with a key. Also, make the treasure chests respective to a reputation as well. So, if we're talking about Battle for Azeroth, you could have a Zoldazar treasure chest, you could have a Nazmir treasure chest, and the way that you can open them is either by killing mobs or rares in the zone, and they can drop a key. Now, regular mobs will just drop a key, potentially, that is specific to the treasure chest in that zone. However, if you kill a rare, then there is the chance for the rare, as well as the loot table I've already discussed, to not only drop a key that would be respective to that zone's treasure chest, but also to drop a skeleton key, which can be used to unlock any of the chests anywhere. And just give it a little bit more of an exciting random factor. And again, when you open up the treasure chest, have something of worth inside. Put some profession materials, put some patterns, put some epic gems, put some enchants, literally on scrolls for people, but nice ones. Put things which people might actually find useful, or if they don't need them, they might be able to put at least on the auction house and make some gold from it. And put a decent amount of gold behind them as well. I know there is the odd treasure chest here or there in BFA that if you open it, you get about 125 gold. But they are exceedingly rare, and I think once they've been done, they're done for good. So, in this case, it allows you to find a treasure chest randomly and feel as if you have been rewarded for opening up that treasure chest. And again, don't be scared to stick a mount, or the potential I'm talking about, not guaranteed, the potential to stick a mount and pets and things like that, vanity items, inside treasure chests too. Make it a worthwhile experience, make it a worthwhile venture for people to get out into the world and try and discover them. Oh, and if somebody does open the chest, give them a big fat chunk of rep with that faction as well. Make them feel as if they're making a dint into that reputation grind, taking some of the pressure off world quests and that god-awful command table. And that leaves us with those said world quests. What I would do with world quests is simply reduce the number drastically. Stop making it essentially the only form of content in the outside world. It shouldn't be. It's oversaturated. Not only are they everywhere in every zone, but they also are the only way to get every rep. You feel pressured to do the whole lot every day. That is not a good feeling when content feels compulsory to keep up with things like reputation grinds. So shrink the amount of world quests dramatically. And Blizzard, over to you. You're the people who are getting paid for this. Think of interesting things to put into the world. Why don't you think about getting some community events together? Random events which pop around. We've seen that in the past before. We've seen them, with the invasion points on Argus, and we've seen them when the actual invasions happened in the Broken Isles. Why aren't there any sort of invasion event between the Horde and the Alliance? After all, this expansion I thought was called Battle for Azeroth. But I might be wrong. But think of different forms of content. Break it up. Make people feel as if they can do some world quests and then break the monotony and go do something completely different. Or if something random spawns in the zone, hey presto, it's gonna organically drag people together to hopefully work together to achieve whatever goal has been laid out in front of them. But there is a distinct over-reliance on world questing, and it is not good, and it's not good for the game. Because we're 3 weeks into the expansion, and already the rewards that they're currently offering are pretty much redundant. And if things are redundant already, there's no incentive for people to do them. And if there's no incentive for people to do them, they're not going to be out in the world. And I'll reiterate once more, Blizzard, this world is gorgeous. Possibly the greatest world we've ever had to explore in the World of Warcraft. And you want people to be in it doing stuff. And guess what? We, as players, want to be in it doing stuff as well. But you've got to make some changes in how you produce your content. So there we go, people. These are what I feel are the problems with the external world content, and also just trying to throw a potential few solutions out there for change. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do get a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links, they're in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.